DJ Trump had 39%, Hillary Clinton 33%. That is one state where the Democratic Senate candidate won election there in the state of Illinois. If we go to Alabama, 60% there, Mississippi 57%. Georgia, a state that was could have swung at 51.4 for DJ Trump. Where let's see what's 89% there, 45.5 for Hillary Clinton. South Carolina, 55.8 for DJ Trump, 39.8 there. North Carolina was a state that they had some would make some progress in. DJ Trump finally ended up with it at 50.5. But now that has been a very red state. It's more swingy now than it used to be. And 46.7 finally for Hillary Clinton. But each received 2 million votes there. Trump had 2,339,000 and Clinton 2,161,000. A lot of voter suppression involved there. Virginia, Hillary Clinton won that with 48.2, 45.5 for DJ Trump. Kentucky was an easy one, 62.5. Indiana, Trump won that one by 30 points. Ohio, Trump did much better there than any of the polling. He's 51.1. Hillary Clinton at 43.4. Pennsylvania, the dagger there. Very, very close, however, there. 20 electoral votes, 99 reporting. Trump had 48.9. She had 47.1. 2 million votes for each in the state of Pennsylvania. And the separation there is not... She had 808 and 808,000. He had 885 in the state of Pennsylvania. And then, of course, we go into New York, New Jersey, and, New Hampshire evidently is still out there at 47. Clinton is winning there, 47.2, and 47.7. He's 47.2. So, in other words, who would believe it would be out? Another state that's still evidently out, Minnesota. She has 46.9. He has 43.3. He had 91% of the precincts reporting in Minnesota. Very close race in Minnesota. So there's still some fairly close races out there. But the problem is, with him being 5 down, any of these states click, whether it be Wisconsin, Michigan, or who else could click here? More likely Wisconsin or Arizona. Trump is over the bandwagon. Very, very, very difficult here with these 3 states. Arizona has 11 electoral votes. Wisconsin has 10. Do they have 10? Yeah, they do. Wisconsin has 10, and Michigan has 16. Now, Michigan evidently is very, very close there. 48.3. Those Wayne County ones are not in yet. We'll take another look there. So basically, she is, do my arithmetic here, she is 52 electoral votes short. DJ Trump is only 5 electoral votes short. Now you understand what the situation is here in our projection. So we feel confident projecting this. So what happened, we'll be talking about that the next few days, of why it happened to us when it happened to us. Normally something you don't expect would happen with all the polls being off, but constantly the Trump people, and they were correct, his trumpeteers were under performing, period. Now, this is something out of, this is from Nate Silver, some talk about Trump winning the Iron Range. There was. She won St. Louis County, which is Duluth, by 13 points. And we'll check that out. Trump wins Pennsylvania. Our model gave him a 90. This is Nate Silver. One thing I've been thinking about here is where the Democratic Party goes next. Three of the last four congressional elections were bad for the Democrats. I mean, the thin bench. President Obama served out his terms. The Clinton dynasty is over, no doubt about that. But the most obvious are terms of Clinton, Bernie Sanders and Vice President Biden are also pretty old. Well, but the Democratic Party is going to have to be reorganized. There's no doubt about it. I wrote this morning about the election status as the first since the Supreme Court's decision struck down the Voting Rights Act. This is from Carl Blanklick. That had a lot to do with it. One has to remember, voter suppression, free critical states, won by Trump, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. A lot of voter suppression going there. Those states in control of Republicans, right-wing Republicans, Latinos in Arizona. That you have to understand. That's why this election came out as it did. You had voter suppression in Pennsylvania. You had much voter suppression on the Scott in Florida. That's going to be part and partial of the story. No doubt about that. Let's go to Real Clear Politics. I think that's where we're going, and see where they have put it. Okay, they have finally declared. At 277, this is Trump Pence. That is enough to win the presidency. So again, I'm not sure if the AP has declared that, but you have Hillary Clinton at 218. So, and in the Senate, Democrats at 47 plus 1, and the Republicans at 50 plus 1. So the Senate is a little bit closer now than it was, no doubt about that. And we start looking at some of these figures here out of the state of Nevada. The Democrats hold that state there. That is with Ms. Mester, I think is her name. And in the state of Illinois, that is also a state where Ms. Duckworth was able to beat out there. So the Democrats hold one, they pick up one there. And in governors, the Democrats lost 2, and the Republicans picked up 2, which 32 plus, that's 34. In the House, so far, the Democrats have 170. Plus 5, the Republicans minus 5 there. So I'm not sure. I'm just looking at some of these states. They're out yet. Minnesota is still out there. And we'll take another look at the, I think somewhere we had the Minnesota totals there. Some of those districts, I don't think any of them flipped in that state. I was looking at it earlier there. In that particular state. Let's take a quick look here, and we'll see where that situation goes. We'll bring it up here, and they are still counting. But if Duluth has been won, that's in northern Minnesota. Yeah. Let's see. We'll go to... And let's look at the congressional districts here. Okay, let's see. Now, there's some very tight races here. The District 1, Ogden and Waltz. That's District 1. Angie Craig was a promising person against a talk show host named Lewis. She's at 41.7. I don't think they have precincts reporting. Only 52. That's District 2 in Minnesota. 94. So a lot of Minnesota votes are not in. There's one Republican here, Eric Paulson. Oh, I guess he called himself an independent. Anyway, nonetheless, he's been declared a winner with 57.7% of the vote. An incumbent. In the District 4, Betty McCullough. That one's already done. And Keith Ellison, one of the few Muslims in the House, has won re-election. That's 61.1. Tom Emmer and David Snyder. Emmer evidently has won that one with 65.3. And 92% reporting there. Colin Peterson, that's in District 7. In a very tight race here now, with 86 percent of the precincts reporting. Rick Nolan, I think we were going to do this, and a multi-millionaire named Mills. Let's see, 695 out of 810 of the precincts reporting there. Mills at 49%, he has 163,000. He's the Republican, and some of that is Trump territory there. And at 169, almost 170, is Nolan. Not sure, but we just talked about the major city there, Duluth, in Minnesota. So let's see very quickly here. We've got, we haven't yet. They are still playing it fancy there. We'll go to Washington Post. Trump near historic upset with victory. There's the headline in the Washington Post. Evidently, Roy Blunt hung on in Missouri. That was a very promising race down there in Missouri. And part of that, Roy Blunt managed to hang on to a victory in Missouri. He was running against a guy named Kander, who was a veteran there in Missouri. And, of course, Blunt lived in Washington, D.C., so a little different kind of, he was Army intelligence officer. This was Kander. And Blunt, as an insider, I guess Blunt managed to pull it out. And from Hillary Clinton, we're not done yet. Well, that's about all she could say. That was John Podesta there. The path to victory is almost non-existent. It's an unfortunate situation there in terms of where this ended up. But we had said from the very beginning, Hillary Clinton was a very flawed candidate. And in our opinion, the primary was, and there's evidence of that, was stolen from Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Bernie Sanders would have ran a much better race against DJ Trump. And more than likely, he would have won the race because after the convention, he'd have been up 4 or 5 points. And Trump would have been, there would have been no Hillary server, etc. there. Trump would have been hard to ever caught up with Bernie Sanders because